Legal experts and women's groups across Canada say the verdict in the Jian Ghomeshi sex assault trial shines a spotlight on everything that's wrong with a system designed to find justice in such cases. And a local woman whose work is dedicated to those victims feels the exact same way.
I was disappointed. I have to give the women that came forward a lot of kudos, like very brave to come forward, particularly against such a high-profile person. And so I feel badly for them and what they've gone through. It's not too surprising because of the way the system is. In a crime like sexual assault or sexual abuse, there generally aren't witnesses because of the nature of the crime, and there's generally not a lot of independent evidence, so it becomes one word against another. And it's the only crime that victims are grilled in the way that we saw these women going through. And it really doesn't fit. Our system doesn't fit that type of crime.
She says most victims do not come forward and most assailants get away with it.
Under 30% of sexual assaults are reported, and of those, another maybe 30% get charges approved, and then a small percent go through to the court system, and it ends up that about 97% of sex offenders get away with it. They do not end up being convicted.
A disturbing trend in society is also the amount of victim shaming, victim blaming, and the assumptions that these women make up the accusations they lay against people like Ghomeshi and Bill Cosby.
It's very rare. The research that I've seen has shown it less than 2%. And when you look at what the women went through on the stand, and victims know that, they know how difficult the system is, and that's why the reporting is low in the first place. So why someone would subject themselves to that when they know there's such a very low likelihood of conviction, it begs the question of why someone would. And I would say that, to me, that intuitively confirms the research that says that false reporting is very low.
She hopes this case will keep the conversation going and encourage people to stand up for the victims of assault.
If you see a girl or a guy who's quite drunk and you think they're getting taken advantage of, getting put in a cab by somebody or something like that, you can say something, you can interfere. Girls can go out in groups. But I also think that guys can stop what they're doing. You know, how do you stop rape? There's all the list of, you don't put something in someone's drink, don't take advantage of somebody who's had too much to drink. Putting all the onus on the victim to take care of herself is backwards. We need to stop the perpetrators, to feel that they have this sense of entitlement to someone else's body. I hope that these survivors can hold on to the words of the judge where he said we haven't been able to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. But that doesn't mean it didn't happen, and I hope that they can hold on to those words. I think there's a lot of people that believe them out there. There were protests, there's a lot of chatter, and I hope that this won't discourage women from going forward, at least getting help. When you come forward, you're telling the story, you're not keeping the secret anymore, you're talking for thousands of women who can't do that themselves.
Anyone who has been the victim of an assault can seek free help at the Elizabeth Fry Society by calling 250-763-4613. For Castanet News, I'm Carmen Weld.